Hybrid training is blowing up, from High Rocks to Ironman to your favorite YouTubers. Everyone is suddenly running. But how did you start running, and how do you do it without losing muscle? Because you probably heard things like cardio kills your muscle, running makes you skinny, stick to sprints, avoid long distance. Last year I cut my lifting sessions in half and I started running more. Today I'm in the best shape of my life. Not only am I stronger and leaner, but I obviously have better cardio now and even better biomarkers. But if you've only been lifting thus far, your cardio probably suck right now. And if you want to combine running and lifting, you need to get it right, because wrong split, you'll overtrain and stall both lifts and runs, and it can wreck your recovery. And poor recovery can lead to you getting injured or you potentially burning out. In this video, I'll break down how to structure your running so you can improve your cardio without losing muscle, without also increasing the risk of injury. If you heard about Andrew Huberman or Peter Tia or follow any hybrid athletes, you probably heard about Zone 2 training. Zone 2 training is when your heart rate is between 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. It's the sweet spot for improving aerobic cardio. There are 5 different heart rate zones though. To find your heart rate zones, I've linked a free calculator in the description. Just plug in your age and it estimate your max heart rate and your heart rate for those targeted zones. I also added a pace calculator if you don't have a smartwatch, so you can measure your current pace. 80% of your runs though should be done in zone 2, slow runs, and 20% should be done intervals, zone 4 and zone 5. This is what running coaches usually recommend, a polarizing model. But why no zone 3? Because zone 3 is the only zone worse than the friend zone. Zone 3 is where your heart rate is between 70 to 80% of your max heart rate. In zone 3, we use both carbs and fat as fuel, so you don't really become efficient at either. Zone 2 is better if you want to be efficient at utilizing fat. Zone 4 and 5 is better if you want to be more efficient at utilizing carbs as fuel. But the main problem with zone 3 is recovery, because you're not really getting any more cardio benefit in zone 3 versus zone 2. But recovering from zone 3 takes a lot longer, and it's just a huge toll on your body versus zone 2. The biggest mistake people do when training zone 2 though is that they accidentally train zone 3 when they're supposed to train zone 2. Because zone 2 might feel too slow, especially at first, and many people can't even stay in zone 2 without walking. But over time, when your cardio improves, you'll be able to jog in zone 2 at a much higher pace. And how to improve your cardio is by you increasing your weekly mileage. Just like lifting, that's how you progressively overload for cardio. You probably heard a gym bro say, cardio kills gains, or cardio makes you skinny. And that is actually not completely false. But for most people, cardio doesn't cause muscle loss. You see, when you do a ton of cardio, you burn a ton of calories. If you burn more calories than you eat, that means you'll lose weight. And losing weight can mean losing fat, but it can also mean losing muscle. But for most people, we don't need to worry about that, because we're not running 100 kilometers a week or training 3 hours a day. You only need to worry about losing muscle from cardio if you're burning more calories than you're eating. Like, look at those hybrid guys like Nick Beer or CrossFitters or High Rocks competitors. They have great cardio and a lot of muscle. They look way better than most people in the gym lifting weights. But doing cardio before lifting, that can actually hurt lifting performance. I recommend doing cardio and weightlifting in different days. I'll break down how to schedule training later in this video, but cardio also make weightlifting better actually, because cardio improves cardiorespiratory fitness, which is your body's ability to deliver oxygen to the muscle when they need it. If your cardio isn't up to par, even something like 3 sets of 8 on the squat can feel like absolute death between sets. Not because your muscles are tired, but because you're gasping for air. Cardio helps you recover faster between sets, so you can handle more volume in less time. And for health, according to a 2009 meta-analysis, Cardiorespiratory fitness is one of the strongest predictors in all-cause mortalities. Almost every study in the meta-analysis, which is a study of many studies, favored high cardio fitness when it comes to both living longer and lowering the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. If you're doing high-rate training, recovery is everything, especially for your legs. If you run after a big leg day or sometimes 2 days after a big leg day, when running you can feel like you have heavy legs, which can hurt your performance and increase your risk of injury. So if I'm doing 4 sessions a week, which I'm currently in, I'm lifting twice a week and doing cardio 2 times a week. I'll start doing day 1 a zone 2 run because it's easy to recover from zone 2. Day 2, I'll do a full body, heavy on the legs because zone 2 was easy to recover from. Day 3, I'll take a break. Day 4, I'll do my intervals, zone 4 and zone 5 there. Day 5, I'll do a full body again. I'll go easy on the legs because I did zone 4 and zone 5 the day before. Day 6, 7, I'll take a break. That gives me 48 hours between each lifting sessions and more than 48 hours between each run sessions. And you can train hard legs after zone 2 because it's not that difficult to recover from zone 2. Newton's first law of motion says objects that are in motion, they stay in motion, but objects that are at rest, they stay at rest. So if all of this sounds a little bit complicated or seems a little bit overwhelming, I get it, especially if you're new to running or hybrid training. And if you're already lifting 2 to 3 times a week, don't try to commit to another 3 runs on top of that because that's probably too much. You probably won't start. Like, who has time to work out 6 times a week unless you're unemployed? Start with 1 run first. That is more than enough to begin with. And later, maybe that turns into 2 runs. Maybe you like it so much that you'll swap a lifting session for another run session. Maybe you'll join a run club like many of us have, which is, by the way, better than nightclubs if you want to meet those spicy mamacitas. Anyways, my point is that objects that are in motion, they stay in motion. So just start small in the beginning, just like lifting. In the beginning, you can still get a lot of results by just doing very little. And if you want help to structure it all, check out the link in the description. If you prefer doing it yourself, no worries, grab the free heart rate calculator and pace calculator. It will help you. Check out this video because in this video, I cut my 5K time with over 4 minutes in just 30 days while also gaining 5 pounds of lean muscle simultaneously. If you don't know what simultaneously means, it means at the same time if you're from Essex. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay healthy, keep thriving, and I hope I see you on the next one. Peace.